What if I told you that the biggest YouTuber in the world started as an ordinary teenager with almost no viewers, no fame, no fortune, no million-dollar videos, just a dream and an obsession? This is the true story of Jimmy Donaldson, better known today as MrBeast. Jimmy was born on May 7, 1998, in Wichita, Kansas, in the United States. While he was still young, his family moved to Greenville, North Carolina, where he spent most of his childhood. Life wasn't perfect. His parents later divorced, and he and his older brother were raised mainly by their mother. Like millions of other children, Jimmy loved video games and the internet. But there was something different about him. He didn't just enjoy watching YouTube. He wanted to understand it. As a young teenager, while many of his friends were thinking about sports, parties, or weekend plans, Jimmy spent hours studying videos online. He wanted to know why one video became famous while another disappeared, without anyone noticing. At just 13 years old, in 2012, he created his own YouTube channel. His first videos were simple. He played games, experimented with different ideas, commented on other creators, and tried anything that might work. Almost nobody watched. Some videos received only a few views. Others seemed completely forgotten. For many people, that would have been the end. For Jimmy, it was only the beginning. Every failed upload became another lesson. Instead of asking, "Why am I failing?" he asked, "What can I learn?" He watched successful creators for hours, studying their titles, thumbnails, editing, pacing, and storytelling. He became obsessed with discovering the secret behind viral videos. Days turned into months, months turned into years. Still, success refused to come. Most people would have quit long before then. Jimmy didn't. He believed that if he kept learning, kept improving, and never stopped uploading, one day everything would change. He had no guarantee, no roadmap, no certainty, only a dream that seemed impossible. But that impossible dream was about to take him on a journey that would transform not only his own life, but the entire world of YouTube. And this was only the beginning. Every success story has a chapter that almost nobody remembers. For Jimmy Donaldson, those chapters lasted for years, while other teenagers spent their free time hanging out with friends or thinking about their future careers. Jimmy spent countless hours in front of a computer. He wasn't chasing views anymore. He was chasing understanding. He watched successful YouTubers over and over again, trying to answer one question: why do people click on one video but ignore another? He analyzed titles. He studied thumbnails. He paid attention to the first few seconds of every video. He even discussed YouTube strategy for hours with other small creators who shared the same dream. Years passed. Still, almost nothing changed. Most of his uploads received very few views. Some people thought he was wasting his life. After finishing high school, Jimmy briefly enrolled in college. But his mind wasn't in the classroom. Every lecture reminded him of the same thought: I should be working on YouTube. After only a short time, he made one of the biggest decisions of his life. He left college to pursue YouTube full-time. It was a huge risk. There was no guarantee of success, no steady income, no famous name, just a young man betting everything on an internet platform that many people still didn't take seriously. His family worried about his future. Friends questioned his decision. But Jimmy believed something that others couldn't yet see. He believed YouTube wasn't just a website. It was the future. Instead of giving up, he worked even harder. He experimented with strange and unusual video ideas that almost nobody else was making. Some failed. Some performed slightly better. Each upload taught him something new. Without realizing it, Jimmy was building the skills that would eventually make him one of the greatest creators on the platform. Then, an unusual idea appeared. It sounded ridiculous, Almost nobody expected it to become famous. But that single idea would completely change Jimmy Donaldson's life forever. In the next chapter, everything begins to change. For years, Jimmy Donaldson had worked in silence. Hundreds of hours, countless uploads, very little success. Most people would have accepted defeat. Jimmy refused. He believed that somewhere out there was one idea that could change everything. Then, in 2017, he tried something almost no one expected. He uploaded a video of himself counting from 1 to 100,000. It sounded completely ridiculous. Who would spend hours counting numbers? The challenge took him more than 40 hours to complete. And because of camera limits, it had to be filmed over several days before being edited into a much shorter video. People clicked out of curiosity, then they kept watching because they couldn't believe someone would actually finish it. For the first time, one of Jimmy's videos spread rapidly across YouTube. Millions of people discovered his channel. The internet started asking a simple question: who is this guy? Instead of celebrating, Jimmy saw something even more important. He had finally discovered a formula. People loved videos that made them say, "I can't believe someone actually did that." So he didn't stop. He made more unusual endurance challenges. He read the longest words. He watched paint dry. He completed bizarre internet challenges that sounded almost impossible. Each video attracted more viewers than the last. His audience grew faster than ever before. But Jimmy wasn't interested in becoming famous for strange challenges alone. He had a much bigger dream. He wanted to create videos so spectacular that nobody could ignore them. He wanted every upload to feel like an event. Instead of spending his growing income on expensive cars or luxury holidays, Jimmy made an unusual decision. He invested most of it back into his videos. Better cameras, better editing, larger challenges, bigger ideas. Every pound or dollar he earned became fuel for the next project. It was a risky strategy. If a video failed, he could lose almost everything. But Jimmy believed that creating the best possible content would always be worth the risk. That belief was about to transform his channel forever. Because the next idea wasn't about counting. It was about changing people's lives with money. And that would make the entire world know the name MrBeast. The video of counting to 100,000 proved one thing. People loved watching someone do the impossible. But Jimmy Donaldson wasn't satisfied. He wanted to create videos that people wouldn't just watch. He wanted them to remember. As his channel continued to grow, the money he earned from YouTube started increasing. Most creators would have used that income to buy expensive cars, luxury clothes, or a bigger house. Jimmy chose a completely different path. He decided to put almost everything back into his videos. Then he had an idea that sounded unbelievable. What if giving away money could make even better videos? He began filming himself surprising strangers, friends, and even small Twitch streamers with cash donations. Sometimes, he tipped restaurant workers. Other times, he gave away thousands of pounds to people who had no idea it was coming. The reactions were genuine: shock, tears, laughter, disbelief. Millions of viewers connected with those moments. Because they weren't just watching someone spend money, they were watching lives change. Each successful video gave Jimmy more income, and instead of keeping it, he poured it into an even bigger project. It became a cycle. A bigger video attracted more viewers. More viewers created more revenue. More revenue funded an even bigger video. Slowly, MrBeast wasn't just making YouTube videos anymore. He was creating events that people couldn't wait to watch. Behind the scenes, however, the work was relentless. Planning took weeks. Filming lasted for days. Editing demanded countless hours. Every detail mattered because Jimmy believed that one small mistake could make viewers click away. His standards became higher with every upload. If a video wasn't good enough, he was willing to start again. That obsession with quality separated him from thousands of other creators. By now, millions of people recognized the name MrBeast. But Jimmy's ambition had grown far beyond internet fame. He had a new dream. He wanted to create the biggest, most expensive YouTube videos the world had ever seen. And that dream was about to change YouTube forever. Success was no longer a dream. It was becoming reality. With every upload, MrBeast's audience grew larger. Millions of people eagerly waited for his next video, wondering what impossible challenge he would create next. But Jimmy Donaldson knew something many people didn't. Making bigger videos meant taking bigger risks. Every new project required more planning, more equipment, more people, and much more money. So instead of working alone, Jimmy began building a team. He surrounded himself with friends and trusted collaborators who shared his passion for creating unforgettable videos. Together, they spent countless hours brainstorming ideas that had never been attempted on YouTube. Jimmy had one rule: every new video had to be better than the last one. If an idea wasn't exciting enough, they threw it away. If a challenge wasn't difficult enough, they made it harder. If a prize wasn't impressive enough, they increased it. This relentless pursuit of improvement became the foundation of the MrBeast brand. Soon, viewers weren't just clicking because they recognized his name. They clicked because they expected something extraordinary. Then came the giant challenge videos. Contestants competed for enormous cash prizes. Some faced extreme endurance tests. Others solved puzzles or completed difficult tasks with life-changing rewards waiting at the finish line. The scale of the productions kept growing. Entire locations were transformed into giant game arenas. Huge sets were built just for a single video. Behind every finished upload were weeks of planning, testing, filming, and editing. To the audience, the videos looked effortless. Behind the scenes, they required incredible teamwork and attention to detail. Jimmy understood one powerful truth: people don't remember ordinary, they remember extraordinary. That philosophy helped turn MrBeast from a successful creator into one of YouTube's biggest stars. But his greatest challenge was still ahead. He wasn't just trying to make the biggest videos anymore. He wanted to make videos that would inspire millions of people around the world. And the next chapter would prove that YouTube could be used for something much bigger than entertainment alone. By now, MrBeast had become one of the fastest growing creators on YouTube. His videos attracted tens of millions of views. But Jimmy Donaldson wanted his success to mean something more. He believed a YouTube video could do more than entertain people. It could change lives. So he began creating videos that combined massive challenges with acts of generosity. Contestants competed for prizes that could completely change their future. Some won huge cash rewards. Others received cars, houses, or opportunities they never imagined possible. These moments spread across the internet because viewers weren't only watching a competition, they were watching hope. As the channel continued to grow, Jimmy launched a separate channel dedicated to charity work, helping fund food banks, supporting families in need, and providing assistance through organized projects. Many of these efforts were made possible by partnerships, sponsors, donations, and revenue generated from his growing media business. Then came some of his most ambitious public projects. One campaign helped raise funds to plant millions of trees. Another supported efforts to remove millions of pounds of rubbish from oceans, rivers, and coastlines. These campaigns inspired people around the world to contribute, showing how online communities could work together for causes beyond entertainment. Not every project escaped criticism. Some people questioned whether large charitable acts should be filmed for YouTube. Others argued that the videos inspired millions to help others. Jimmy responded that the videos encouraged generosity and also generated the income needed to fund even bigger projects. Whether people agreed or disagreed, one fact was impossible to ignore. The scale of his work kept growing. His team became larger. His productions became more complex. His influence reached audiences in countries all over the world. MrBeast was no longer just a YouTuber. He had become one of the most recognized digital creators on the planet. But Jimmy still wasn't satisfied. He had an even bigger vision. He wanted to build challenges so spectacular that they would rival the biggest productions in entertainment. The next chapter would push YouTube to a level few people had ever imagined possible. By the early 2020s, MrBeast was no longer following YouTube trends. He was creating them. Every time viewers thought he had reached his limit, Jimmy Donaldson raised the bar even higher. His team built enormous sets. Abandoned buildings became challenge arenas. Private islands became prizes. Competitions offered rewards so large, they seemed unbelievable. What made these videos different wasn't just the money. It was the storytelling. Every challenge had tension. Every contestant had a reason to win. Every minute was carefully edited to keep viewers wondering what would happen next. Jimmy believed that every second mattered. If a scene felt slow, it was removed. If an idea wasn't exciting enough, it was redesigned. His team sometimes spent weeks planning a video that audiences would watch in less than 20 minutes. That relentless attention to detail helped his channel reach hundreds of millions of subscribers across multiple channels. Brands wanted to work with him. Media companies wanted to understand his success. Creators around the world studied his videos, hoping to learn the secrets behind his storytelling. But with greater fame came greater pressure. Every new upload was expected to be bigger than the last. That expectation created enormous challenges behind the scenes. Planning became more complicated. Production costs increased dramatically. The responsibility of leading a growing company rested on Jimmy and his expanding team. Yet, he continued moving forward. He often spoke about improving each video rather than repeating old ideas. His goal wasn't simply to break records. It was to create content people would remember for years. As MrBeast became one of the most recognized names on the internet, his ambitions expanded beyond YouTube itself. He began launching businesses that reflected his growing brand, while continuing to invest heavily in new content. The world was watching, but even greater opportunities and greater challenges were just around the corner. The next chapter would explore how MrBeast expanded from a YouTube creator into a global entrepreneur, building businesses while continuing to chase bigger dreams than ever before. By now, MrBeast had become far more than a content creator. He was building a global brand. Jimmy Donaldson understood something that many creators eventually discover. A YouTube channel can become the foundation for much bigger ideas. As his audience continued to grow, he expanded into business. One of his best-known ventures was Feastables, a chocolate and snack company created with the goal of making products that were simple, enjoyable, and widely available. Instead of relying only on YouTube advertising revenue, Jimmy was creating businesses that could support his long-term vision. Around the same time, he experimented with another major venture, MrBeast Burger. The launch attracted enormous attention. Fans around the world rushed to try the food, and the brand expanded quickly through a network of partner kitchens. However, rapid growth also brought challenges. Jimmy later said he was unhappy with the quality of some meals customers received. Disagreements over quality and business operations eventually led to legal disputes with the company managing the brand. Rather than ignore the problem, Jimmy publicly stated that protecting his audience's trust was more important than continuing a business that didn't consistently meet his standards. It was a reminder that success isn't always a straight line. Even the world's biggest creators face setbacks. But Jimmy kept moving forward. His primary focus remained YouTube. Every successful business gave him more resources to invest in even larger productions. Every new video became another opportunity to surprise millions of viewers. Behind the scenes, hundreds of people were now involved in planning, filming, editing, designing sets, managing logistics, and producing the massive videos that audiences enjoyed. What had started as one teenager uploading videos from his bedroom had become a company employing talented people across many different roles. Yet Jimmy's biggest challenge still lay ahead. He wasn't just thinking about making the biggest YouTube videos anymore. He wanted to create entertainment on a scale that could compete with television and perhaps even surpass it. The next chapter would reveal how that ambition led to one of the largest and most ambitious competition projects of his career. By this stage, MrBeast wasn't just competing with other YouTubers. He was competing with himself. Every new upload had to feel bigger, more exciting, and more unforgettable than the last. That wasn't easy. Each production required months of planning, detailed logistics, large filming locations, and a growing team working behind the scenes. One mistake could cost an enormous amount of money, but Jimmy Donaldson believed that taking calculated risks was the price of creating extraordinary content. His philosophy remained simple. If a video could amaze millions of people, it was worth the effort. As his audience continued to grow into the hundreds of millions across his channels, the scale of his projects grew with it. He recreated famous games. He built enormous obstacle courses. He organized competitions with life-changing prizes. Every challenge was designed to keep viewers asking one question: what happens next? Then came one of his boldest ambitions yet. Jimmy wanted to prove that online creators could produce entertainment on the same level as major television shows. His team worked on an enormous competition project featuring a huge number of contestants, massive custom-built sets, and prizes unlike anything seen before in a creator-led production. The project demanded years of experience, careful planning, and the combined effort of a large production team. It showed just how far a teenager with a small YouTube channel had come. But success at this level also brought intense public attention. Every decision was discussed online. Every new project attracted praise from some people and criticism from others. Jimmy understood that becoming one of the world's biggest creators meant living under constant scrutiny. Even so, he continued focusing on the same goal that had guided him since he was 13 years old: make the next video better than the last one. That relentless mindset had carried him from an unknown teenager to one of the most influential creators on the internet. Yet his story wasn't over. The next chapter would explore the challenges, criticism, and lessons that came with building one of the biggest digital media brands in the world, and how Jimmy continued moving forward despite the pressure. From a 13-year-old boy uploading videos that almost nobody watched, to one of the most recognized creators on the planet, Jimmy Donaldson's journey is proof that extraordinary success rarely happens overnight. It was built through years of failure, years of learning, years of refusing to quit. Today, MrBeast's videos reach audiences across the world. His team produces some of the largest and most ambitious projects on YouTube. Through his businesses, entertainment, and charitable initiatives, he has influenced millions of people and inspired countless creators to dream bigger. His path has not been without challenges. As his fame grew, so did public scrutiny. Like many high-profile creators, he has faced criticism, disagreements, and controversies. Some people admire his approach, while others question aspects of his work. But one thing is difficult to deny: his impact on YouTube has been enormous. He helped redefine what viewers expect from online videos, raising the standard for production, storytelling, and scale. Perhaps the greatest lesson from Jimmy's story isn't about money, it isn't about subscribers, and it isn't about fame. It's about persistence. When his first videos received almost no views, he kept uploading. When success seemed impossible, he kept learning. When others doubted his dream, he kept believing in it. That relentless commitment transformed an ordinary teenager into one of the most influential digital creators of his generation. And while this chapter of his story brings us to the present, his journey is still unfolding. No one knows what his next challenge will be. No one knows what record he will break next. But if history has taught us anything, it's this: never underestimate someone who refuses to stop improving. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another inspiring true story. Because sometimes, the biggest dreams begin with just one upload.